I'm Alex Weathersby, and this is my web series review for the Lizzie Bennet Diaries. The Lizzie Bennet Diaries is a vlog-style series about college grad Elizabeth Bennet and her friends and family as they navigate life and love and their careers and all sorts of things. It's based on Jane Austen's book Pride and Prejudice. Some things I really liked about the series was I like the vlog aspect of it. I felt like they really utilized it, and a lot of people would say that they're one of the first web series to really utilize the vlog aspect. They did really cool things in order to maximize that, where they did the costume theater reenactments of things so that they could minimize how many characters they had to have in a room or on screen. Two characters would dress up like other characters and then reenact moments like Lizzie and Darcy's scene or Jane and Bingley's romantic overtures. I also really liked how they modernized certain plot points, especially how they modernized the whole Lizzie, Mr. Collins, and Charlotte thing. They changed that from being a marriage proposal to a job proposal. I felt really showed that they understood how important of a thing that was in the time period the book was written in, why it was so ridiculous of Lizzie to turn down an opportunity. Charlotte felt it was really important for her to take hold of that opportunity, so I really loved how they modernized that. Another thing they modernized is Lydia and Lizzie's relationship. In the book, Lydia is considered to be very flighty. The whole prospect of her and Wickham and everything with that is kind of glossed over. It's her just ruining the family reputation, whereas in this series, the whole age and Wickham's personality, how they get along, and Lydia's personality is definitely a lot more developed, and I think it made it a lot more appropriate for this time period. The relationship between Lydia and Lizzie is another one of the things that I think this web series did really, really well, because in Pride and Prejudice, Lizzie and Lydia don't really interact very much. Lizzie is much closer to Jane, and her and Jane's relationship takes up most of the book, and in this web series there's a huge focus on the sister relationships, and I thought that was a really cool thing to do. Some things I didn't like about this web series was that it's very long. There are a lot of episodes to get through, and that's only if you don't also take into account the transmedia accounts, Twitters for most of the main characters, and then as well as Lizzie's list of vlogs. Lydia also makes her own vlog, and at some point those two converge, but it's just a lot of media to get through. So that was kind of difficult for me. I'm not really a marathoner in that sense of I watch like 50 episodes a day. There were some characters I felt had more minimal characterization than other characters. Fitz, for example, only appears in a couple episodes, which is pretty glaringly different considering that there are over 100 episodes altogether, including Lydia's, and I would have really liked to see minor characters like that utilized a bit more. And then the final thing that kind of bugged me about this series was that Lizzie, in the beginning when she and Lydia's relationship is first being presented to the audience, there's kind of a lot of slut-shaming comments. There's a lot of degrading Lydia for being a party girl and for sleeping around. I personally didn't really like this concept that Lydia's sexual actions were part of her less responsible and flighty personality. There's not necessarily a correlation between having casual sex and being an irresponsible person. I would suggest you watch this web series if you're a big Jane Austen fan, especially if you really love Pride and Prejudice. This is a very good modern adaptation of that. If you like reenactments of scenes, so you don't need to see that TV style everything happens as it happens. I really enjoyed the comedy potential of two people acting out another scene and maybe some unreliable narration. They're only presenting what they perceive the other characters to be. A big refrain in the series is Lizzie sees what Lizzie wants to see, so the way that she performs some of the characters is very different from how other people perform those characters in the reenactments. They have different points of view on who those characters really are. If you really like finished series, this is over and done. The whole book is represented in the web series, so you're not going to be dealing with hiatuses or waiting a really long time for a new season or anything like that. It's just completely done. So if that's something that you are really looking for in terms of a web series, this has it. If you like slow burns as well in terms of the love interests, the main romantic relationships in the series are between Jane and Bingley, and Lizzie and Darcy, of course. And Darcy doesn't show up for a very long time. So the relationships are definitely drawn out, and so there's a lot of time spent on developing who the people are within the relationship. And so if you're looking for a slow burn, so a very much gradual sense of moving from dislike to maybe like to maybe it's not so bad to obviously love, then this is a good series for you. On that note, if you want to see a lot of Darcy and he's a character that you really like to get inside the head of, this isn't maybe the web series for you if that's what you're expecting or that's what you're really wanting. Most of the videos are either from Lizzie or Lydia's point of view, depending on which channel you're going through. If you're really looking to delve into Darcy and how he feels about everything and what made him who he is, or you want more of a third person omniscient, then you're not going to get it with this series. It's very much from Lizzie's point of view, or on Lydia's vlog channel, her point of view. I know some people don't really like to see the modernization of things because they don't like how the context changes based on the time period. So for them, they might have wanted Mr. Collins' marriage proposal to be a marriage proposal and not just a job proposal. Some people feel it takes away from the real message of the story. So if that's something that you're not a fan of, then you're not really going to like this series because it is a modernization. Like more action, usually I think it's more common in TV style series for there to be action shown. So if you want to see the dance between Darcy and Lizzie, or you want to see some of the events that are talked about, so if you want to watch Mrs. Bennet making a fool of herself, or you really want to see the parties, there's so many parties because there are parties in the book and it's pretty much the same in the web series. There's a lot of fancy stuff happening. Or if the unreliable narration makes things really difficult for you and you just want a clear idea of what happened so that you can make your own choices, then this probably isn't the web series for you. Or you